Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the 2018 Quidditch Canada National Championships. We're coming at you from beautiful Hamilton, Ontario. My name is Calder Schweitzer.
And I'm Nathan Ross.
And this game, this matchup we're bringing you is Valhalla Quidditch versus TSC, Thunderbirds Sport Club from UBC.
It's supposed to be the cream of the crop right here. There's a lot of spectators coming to watch this one. This is two strong teams, east to west, coming to see who's got top spot going into the reseeding here.
This is essentially, if I'm not mistaken, this is the top Eastern team versus the top Western team.
I believe you're correct in that one, yeah.
So this is good. This is expected to be quite the game.
You also have the good narrative of community teams versus college teams. Who's better?
That's true. That's true. We're solving a lot of rivalries today.
Everything that you ever needed to know about Quidditch can be answered watching this singular game.
The weather today being pretty cold. We mentioned a little bit. Pretty cold and wind gusts quite strong. Going to make teams that rely on longer passes and longer shots at a bit of a disadvantage. Which,
and that's TSC.
Is that TSC?
They do like a good passing game.
Okay, well, we'll see if they adapt their play strategy at all to accommodate for the weather out here.
For those of you tuning in, TSC is on the right there in the blue, and Valhalla's on the left in the white.
It's times like this that I'm kind of missing nationals last year that were in Victoria, BC. It was, I think it was, 10, 15 degrees.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Sunny. Oh, it was amazing.
Couldn't ask for better weather. But no CFL stadium.
No CFL stadium. That's true. That's true.
This is a rematch of the bronze medal match, speaking of last year's nationals.
Is it really?
Yes, this was the third and fourth teams with Valhalla squeaking out a win over TSC.
Right. So this is by many counts a bit of a grudge match.
Yeah, I don't think they've played since then. It's about 1 year to the day.
Really? Well, I feel privileged to be able to commentate this.
It truly is an honor.
Yeah.
This is what I dream about when I think of Quidditch broadcasting assignments. And we're off.
And they're up. We see, a quick knock back. Interesting strategy. Number 18, the keeper on Valhalla, who's going to be dodging some aggressive point chasing. Going to finally get some breathing room as he makes a pass up to Katie Brown. Going to fumble a little bit. Number 17, Katie Brown, picking it up, looking for a pass option. Going to try and make it.
But it's tipped there by Austin Wallace, just out of the view of the camera, for us at least. You at home getting a great view.
The ball now currently in possession of UBC.
And they advance slowly up the field. No quick start for either team. No points off the brooms up.
The lane opens up for Austin Wallace to go, and he's going to make a shot, and it's going to be called no good by the goal ref just south of the hoop. It's going to get picked up by another UBC player trying to make another shot. Same problem as we see Howie now going to pick it up. He's going to make a run. All he's got is Austin Wallace, and he's not even worried about it. He puts it through the little hoop. 10 points up. First score for Valhalla.
And that's capitalizing off that near miss by Indiana Nickel. And Nickel, who used to play for Edmonton, is just so good around those hoops. That's an unfortunate miss, and Valhalla able to capitalize. We'll see now how TSC responds, conceding the first point of the game.
Indiana Nickel, I believe, was just put into a Quidditch video game. If I'm not mistaken.
I think it's called Courtyard or Backyard Quidditch.
It
was voted as Canada's representative.
That's amazing. And the Quaffle going to take a shot. Is going to hit the feet of Custers, who's going to pick it up and run. Looking to make a run. Green grass mostly breaks a couple of tackles. But going to get taken to the ground right in front of the hoops. A second time, going to pass it to Lyndon Evers, who's going to fire it through and finally score
just
off of that play.
Terrible effort from Nickel there. Had two tackles. It looks like we might have an injury on the play. That's number 16 for TSC. Natty. That's Natalia Ferreira. She is not looking too hot right now, so hopefully that's just a minor injury. He's able to walk it off. Being attended to by this game's head referee, Emma Sharoma Chow. Didn't get a good look at it. Looks like she collided with the hoop.
This game has by all means kind of a clash of titans, as we see the top team from the West going against the top team from the East. So far, Valhalla coming out on top in the first couple minutes of play.
But it is just an early start to this game.
Definitely, we've seen a lot of games start one way and finish very differently. So it really could go either way.
And you hope that's the last injury of the game. But these two teams are very physical teams. It could be back and forth as far as hard-hitting action goes on this one.
And it seems like a lot of the narrative that seems to be told, and of course you can't put teams necessarily into boxes like that. But it seems to be that age-old narrative of Eastern size versus Western speed.
No, it's capitalized right here. It's going to be interesting to see how TSC counters the size that Valhalla brings. Mm-hmm. It's a tough challenge. It's not a challenge they normally get out in the West. West is it's a smaller group. There's only 6 teams, and of those 6 teams, they're smaller players. It's a speed-dominated game out there.
Mm-hmm. Very fast. Playing against, I played against Western teams for my first time in a couple years ago, and it felt like a different game. They ran circles around me, to be honest.
It's a tale of 2 countries almost.
Exactly. As we see now, number 88 coming up, carrying it up to mid, looking for a lane, going to make a long pass way over the head of the receiver. It's going to go out of bounds.
And that's unfortunate. That's Katie Olfert. She's a Team Canada standing team member, and it's just the wind takes that quaffle in a way that she's not expecting right now.
Mm-hmm. We see another injury in the field. Looks like a TSC player clutching a knee.
That's beater Thomas Raymond, and they're calling for a medic. Yeah. This is an auspicious start in the first 2.5 minutes.
Hopefully this doesn't set the precedent for the rest of the game.
You would hope not. That really puts a damper on the event.
Mm-hmm.
Valhalla currently leading 20-0 on the scoreboard. As we wait here to wait for the medics, unfortunately on pitch number 1, we are the farthest away from the medical team, so there's a little bit of time to cross Tim Hortons Field. Really is a nice time, though, to talk about Tim Hortons Field.
Yeah.
It's the largest ever event in Canadian Quidditch, and I don't know how many other games have been played in an arena of this size.
This is definitely a first for me in my limited Quidditch experience.
I think it was a little naive of me to hope that all 17,000 plus seats would be filled. But the option was there.
Yeah, you know what? It's the possibility, and that's what matters.
Dream big. It's just it's truly a blessing to be able for us to wake up and just play the sport we love.
Yeah, especially in such a nice city, Hamilton. You know, we're sitting right on the edge of the escarpment. You know, I spent a lot of time down here when I was a kid, and it really is a nice place. And the surrounding, you know, you got Dundas, you got Waterloo, just very nice place to hang out in a beautiful city. And me, I am. How old am I? I'm 20. When I was a kid, yeah, to many, I am still a child.
It was my first time in Hamilton, and I have to say the thing I noticed most: everything here is brick.
That's true.
It blew me away when I got here. Everything is just red brick, no matter where you go. This injury is taking a little bit of time. The teams are asked to just vacate the pitch, leave their brooms there so they know how to reset when play resumes. This is not looking to be a light injury, which is unfortunate. Thomas Raymond is really coming into his own. TSC is in a bit of a rebuild right now, I would say, in that last season they had a lot of their veterans graduate. This season, again, they'll have a lot of their veterans graduate. With TSC and their B team, the University of British Columbia Quidditch Club, they have strict regulations that only students can play for TSC. And so it really hampers them. They get used to people. And we'll take a break until the injury is resolved.
All right, and play has resumed. Quaffle is now in the hands of keeper Atana Crow for Valhalla. Looks up, breaks the tackle, going to make a quick pass out to Lyndon Evers. Two-handed catch, nice in the air. Oh, just throws it just north of the hoop.
Just a bit tall there.
Yeah.
For those of you curious, Thomas Raymond was able to make it out the field. He's being attended to by the medics. We hope him for the best there. TSC recollects the ball, passes off to Austin Wallace, and they'll make the field looking for their first score. Just past 3 minutes of playtime here.
Number 74 coming up with a beater. Going to beat away the point chaser, looking for an outlet. Oh, going to make a pass to no receiver, unfortunately. Going to be received by, my apologies, recovered by Atana Crow, keeper, who's going to look like it looks like he's setting up a play. Valhalla, known for having a very structured game, both offensively and defensively, looking to make something happen as two chasers kind of collapse upon him. Going to set a pick by Katie Brown. Oh, and it's going to spin right between them. Oh, and it's going to be a pass out to number 88, who's going to put it through the hoop, 10 points up for Valhalla.
That's the Valhalla way. They stress with them. Systems over stars, work over wishes. That's the kind of play they want to see against such a big game for them against TSC. Score is now 30-0 for Valhalla. They have to be happy about that. Getting an early lead here. If they can keep that up, they'll be well out of snitch range by the time Snitch rolls out.
See, Austin Wallace now handing it off to number 74, who's looking to make something happen. Going to pass it, right into the keeper. Oh, my apologies, to the chaser, who just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And there's the keeper, Atana Crow. Oh, a quick give and go to Devin Dutt, number 42. Hammers it through the small hoop for another 10 points up for Valhalla.
You're seeing right now both why Valhalla is 26-1 on the season and why they're second in the Quidditch Canada right now for overall score per game.
See Quaffle being brought up by Austin Wallace, number 76. Looking like he's pointing people in direction. Going to take a run. Oh, a nice tall pass. Oh, and it's just over the hands of number 11. Desperately trying to receive. Number 10 going to run back and have a little bit of a fight with a Valhalla chaser over it. Oh, and it goes back. Oh, and Austin Wallace just misses the top of the hoop. And we see Katie Brown diving on the Quaffle behind the hoops.
This has been terrible luck so far for TSC. I think they've hit the rim 3 times already. They're just so close, and then you know what? With 6 more inches, this is going to be a 40-30 game. Instead, it's 40-0 Valhalla.
We're seeing, however, I believe what looks like a yellow card called on Katie Brown from Valhalla. Unsure of what the offense is.
We'll wait for helpless receiver is the call from Katie Brown, graciously telling us what her own foul is.
So if you aren't familiar with what that is, it's if somebody is jumping in the air to catch a ball and you initiate a tackle with them, that you make them a helpless receiver, and that is a dangerous play and warrants a yellow card.
If a receiver's in the air, they have to be given the space to make that catch. You don't want to see injuries where they fall awkwardly in the air.
So now we're going to have UBC looking to make something happen behind the hoops. There's one defender in the immediate vicinity for Valhalla. Might still be able to block this, but this could be easy pickings for, I believe, the first points up for TSC.
They'll have 1 minute to score, and if they don't, Katie Brown gets to resume play. We'll see what we do here. Play's about to resume. And we're back.
Plays remanded. TSC comes around. The goal is called good, and TSC puts up their first points. Katie Brown rejoins the play. Valhalla back at full strength.
TSC finally getting on the board. They got to be happy with that.
See Atana Crow charging up the mid lane. Green grass for much of the distance, closing it to the hoops. Breaks one tackle, looks. He didn't even look like he was putting in much of an effort as he hammered it through the mid-sized hoop there. 10 points up for Valhalla.
With no disrespect to TSC, Valhalla's making it look kind of easy right now.
Mm-hmm.
And another stoppage on play.
Double whistle on the play. Referees coming together to deliberate here. Not 100% sure what it is they're speaking about, but I'm sure we'll find out. Interesting fact about TSC here. In the past 2 years as a club, their record has been 28-6, with 3 of those losses. So 50% of their total losses of the past 2 years being handed to them by Eastern teams. Which means that essentially that's all most of their losses from the season come out of nationals. which is interesting as a team that's used to winning, coming to nationals and receiving a loss from an Eastern team, from an unfamiliar team that may be playing in a way you don't expect. It can affect the mental game, and you got to wonder if TSC is having that affect them a little bit, being down as a team that's typically so dominant.
Well, they had the latest start of the game today. There's been teams already that played 2 games, and this is a little bit of a slow start today. Their one loss this season, I think, was one of their first games of the season against Calgary, very early on. This back in October, and they've just been on a tear since then. Hopefully they're looking to reclaim some of that magic, but we're seeing right now why so few of Valhalla's games end up being within Snitch range, as they currently command a 40-point lead.
We see UBC, or TSC, taking their time. Austin Wallace making a quick pass off to number 88. Walking up the field, slowly advancing the quaffle. 88 looking for an option, fakes a pass, does a bit of shuffling in, a fake handoff to Austin Wallace. 88 taking a shot. It's going to go in the hands of a chaser behind the hoops. Another quick pass up to Austin Wallace, who's going to toss it over his head. Going to go right in the hands of a Valhalla chaser who gets beat. Picked up, recovered by Devin Dutt. Breaks a tackle. Oh, just hits the stalk of the hoop. And we are now in a tussle. Looks like it's keeper ball in favor of TSC. Bad luck for Devin Dutt, just missing the hoop there.
That's a bounce that TSA needs to capitalize right now. If they can get another quick goal, they're within range, and they can build off that. Tides may have turned here. We'll see on this play.
Valhalla, definitely the more vocal team here, calling their plays, calling positioning. Very important to make sure you're communicating with your team on the pitch, especially in a sport where so much goes on all at once.
As a player who's coming over from the West for this Nationals, you have to wonder if jet lag or the time difference even is just a factor for them. A lot of them are 3 hours behind and just a sluggish start right now. Maybe not on this play, though.
Oh, that's 10 points up for UBC with a quick pass behind the hoops, followed by a slam dunk through the middle-sized hoop.
Well done there. That's a nice passing play that TSC really thrives on. It's been tough with this win, but they're breaking through, and hopefully that's get it back a little bit closer, make it a more interesting game.
We discussed at the beginning of the game about the long pass and how they haven't really been working for a lot of people today. But that's one instance where it has worked, as we see Smithson, number 13. Oh, a quick pass off to a chaser who's going to take a beat and drop it. Oh, and there's just a fight for the quaffle between chasers from both teams, and it looks like it's going to end in favor of TSC, who are now making a reasonably rapid advance, thinking better of it.
They love that passing play because the whole that is, it's true. Nothing faster than a pass. No player's going to run faster than that quaffle down the pitch. Rasheer looking to set up here for TSC. Just about 8 minutes gone in the game.
We see number 3 coming up with a quaffle, going to dodge a beat, looking for a goal, but it's just going to hit the base of the hoop as two chasers race behind the hoops to pick it up. Now in the hands of the Valhalla keeper, going to claim keeper protection in the zone and reset for another attack on the UBC hoops.
If I can just say this for a minute, that is some beard on the Valhalla keeper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We know his name's Spencer, and in the East we know him as the Viking.
That's a lot of effort.
Oh, yeah.
That's a season's worth of beard at least.
It's amazing. You know what? Nicest guy you'll ever meet. I never like meeting him on the pitch.
I can see why. He's fierce.
He's a tough man to stop, and he is very good at stopping others.
Just like TSC, shut down that play.
Yes, and as we hear, you see 23 running up. Oh, going to take a beat and drop it. Going to be recovered by the man himself. Passing it off to Corey. He's going to walk it up the pitch nice and slow. Protected by a beater. We see TSC maintaining bludger superiority right now.
But not utilizing it.
Not utilizing it as there's just a bit of a throwaway bludger. A beautiful duck dodge by number 11 on Valhalla, as we see Corey fighting through 3 or 4 people on the enemy team, eventually finding a free arm to make a pass out to number 73, who's looking for something to do. Passes, centers it back up to Spencer, who passes it back to Corey. They're going to reset here, try and make another play work. Quick cut by Corey. Gets a bit of a lane and a decent cut, and that's just going to be an easy-peasy shot through the rightmost hoop. 10 points up for Valhalla.
That was wicked possession there by Valhalla. They had attempt after attempt. They just kept on driving to the lane. budget control went back and forth a few times, but they just kept on pressing and were able to find that lane.
A smart play by them to reset as well. And you see so many teams that scramble and they lose their play and they just try and just scramble for the hoops. Valhalla taking a breath, taking it slow, resetting the play, using that one reset they get.
That's the calmness of a confident team right now.
So we see Lyndon Evers pick up the ball. That beat did not hit him, and he's just going to hammer through the middle hoop. That's
Personally,
10 points
I would
up.
have thought that was a beat, and I think that's what we're going to debate about that. From what I saw here, that looked like beat way before the run started. We'll see what Emma Shromachow has to say about that. But I don't think our voice matters much to her, as much as it does to our fans. Want to say hi to our fans tuning in from the West. A lot of, I think, parents and friends and siblings tuning in to watch TSC. It was too early for the first games to watch.
Oh, yeah, because it would have been, those would have started at 5 a.m.?
Yeah.
It's a little early.
I don't know many people waking up at 5 a.m. to watch Quidditch. I mean, I would, but that says a lot about who I am as a person.
Tell you, I woke up at 5 a.m. to get here.
It was brutal. I don't know if it was nerves or excitement or just the inability to sleep on the pull-out bed I was on, but I was up at 4:30 and I was like, let's just go. Let's just go now.
Just do it. Yeah, just get to the field.
They should have put me on the setup team. I can't wait to crash around 4 p.m.
Yeah.
My team also appreciates this. This is a lengthy debate here.
Yeah, referee's still in deliberation. It's necessary to make sure that they're making the right call because in a game that between two, such high-profile teams, you want to make sure you're calling the right things. And I don't know, it did seem a little ambiguous. I think from our table, it looked like it was beat before, but there very well could have been a body block or something to that effect.
And you know what? It's important to make sure you have those calls. Don't want to have tensions rise. I can't tell. There we go. No goal
is not good.
Turns out it was beat. I feel redeemed.
So we see Austin Wallace taking a run up here. There is one beater. Oh, and he's going to run right into that bludger as it's picked up by Howie. He's going to run into a tackle. Takes him right to the ground, but a quick pass up to number 18, Custers. All he has to do is fight Austin Wallace.
That also was beat.
And there's a beat before. Goal is no good. An absolute snipe coming out from the TSC beater.
I, too, also knock down all the hoops when I am beat.
I think we call that a strike.
You know what? If this was bowling, you'd still have one up. Easy spare, though, for Valhalla.
Yeah, true. Easy spare. It's always that, that middle-sized hoop, You got to make sure you get it.
It's tough, There's so many options. If I was a chaser, I'm a beater myself, but if I was a chaser, I would panic. There's just too much option.
As we see Valhalla shutting down yet another play in there, and as we see Custard now making a charge. There's no beaters. Oh, there is one sneaky beater up on his left. Going to make the shot. Unsure if that was beat before. Looks like the popular call is not beat.
Man.
And that's a goal for Custers.
It counts if you put yourself through the hoop, too.
Yeah. 10 points up for Valhalla.
Score is now 70-20 in what was supposed to be a tight marquee match. Still time for TSC to get back in this game, but we're only about 6.5 away from Snitch play. For those of you tuning in for the first time, we're going to have camera in camera on that Snitch play. It'll be a treat. Thanks to our friends at WeeStreem getting all the games covered here. Nice goal there by TSC. Very
clean pass out behind the hoops and a solid finish, putting up another 10 points for TSC. Valhalla may have the goal, more points right now, but TSC definitely is not out of this game.
They've got the style.
They got the style.
Their goals have looked nicer.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Valhalla. I think it's very impressive to run through the hoop as well. But when TSC clicks on those passing plays, it's just pretty.
Something special about it. You got to remember, TSC also, a tie game in Quidditch is a very ambiguous concept because the Snitch awards 30 points. In theory, TSC is only one goal away from
being in range. Yeah. And I believe they call timeout right now and try and get a look at it.
Mm-hmm. It's very important because Valhalla is definitely a team that feeds off of momentum. They get going and they keep going. I've witnessed it firsthand. So taking this time out, this is kind of an opportune time when it's still close, but it seems like the momentum might be building in the favor of Valhalla. It's a smart timeout to call on TSC's behalf.
Going back to the TSC passing plays, it's underrated right now. For those of you who aren't familiar, there's an environmental warning out from the government of Canada, warning about potential wind gusts of up to 80 kilometers an hour. And you know what? They're just funneled right here in Tim Hortons Field. This is not a closed arena. This is just an open stadium. And the wind gusts are just coming right through.
Any of you seeing the flags in the background of the live stream will be able to see just how much of a factor the wind is in this game. And being able to make those passes is all the more impressive because of it.
Great hands. Great hands all around.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And that's a timeout. Play should resume.
Players retaking the field. Co-op currently in possession of Valhalla chaser Lyndon Evers. Doesn't look like there's many beaters in front of him. He might just try to hero ball it. Could be a quick pass. We'll see.
Great
Number
call.
10 spinning out of one tackle. Charging through another. Oh, going to hit the ground. Stands from his knees. Hammers it through the hoop. That's 10 points up for Valhalla.
How did you know he would hero ball it? What a call.
You're in the East now. When in doubt, hero ball.
I'm going to take that lesson back to my team. Thank you. I'm learning so much here. TSC making wholesale changes. Bringing back Indiana Nickel, donning the keeper headband, looking for a spark here, down by 50 points.
Taking their sweet time heading up, looking for an option, looking for something to happen. Both beaters on TSC playing up very aggressively, looking to beat out those point chasers. Oh, and that's exactly what happens as Nickel takes he sees a bit of a lane, but there's number 7, Jonathan Gola, is right there to meet it as forcing the pass, going to be intercepted by Atana Crow, looking up, looking to make a play. Going to run up seemingly hesitantly. And the hesitation paid off as a nice little walk up to the hoop, and a shot puts the score at 90-30.
Nice little double bounce there. Hit the bottom of the hoop, hit the top of the hoop, but all the luck in the wind right now in Valhalla's favor. And they capitalize.
Indiana Nickel making a handoff as number 88 takes a pass out behind. There's going to be a beater on the receiver. It's going to be recovered by the Valhalla keeper.
And that's number 16, who was injured earlier, so we're glad to see her back on the pitch.
Definitely. As Atana Crow now fighting with Indiana Nickel, trying to make something happen, makes a pass. No receiver in the immediate area, but it's going to get picked up by number 88. Oh, and it's going to be a quick pass and another score for Valhalla, and we're starting to see Valhalla start to run away with this game.
Be interesting to see here if TSC calls their timeout. Seems like it was very effective for Valhalla. They got the momentum back on their side, like you were saying, and TSC needs to put a cork in this one.
Devin Dutt coming up with some aggressive point chasing. Going to be warded off by the beater. Nevertheless, forcing the pass. Beautiful pass to number 36 by TSC. Going to be knocked to the ground by Atana Crow and recovered by 88. Atana now in the possession of Atana Crow. Keeper on Valhalla. Running up nice and quick. Not giving them much time to reset. As he, fakes left and goes right. Makes a pass to Devin Dutt. Hammers it home.
Had a little bobble there, but with hands like that, you can take your time and put that one right through the hoops. Valhalla now with an 80-point lead.
This seems to be this has been a common story for Valhalla today, putting up almost a double-digit lead in their first game. Oh no, I believe it was over double digits.
I believe it was, yes.
Now on track to do the same, and you got to wonder if TSC is starting to feel the heat and if they're going to be able to adapt their play strategy to accommodate for this.
And it's a long weekend. You know what? If this continues on and they end up losing, they're going to have to take that pill, swallow it, and move on.
Yeah, it is a climb for sure, but not one that is impossible. We've seen it before. Guelph Quidditch climbing through the ranks at Nationals last year. So
anything can happen, really.
Yeah. Oh, there's a hit from Devin Dutt as the keeper on TSC tries to reclaim possession.
We're seeing an advantage penalty here from one of the ARs. Will Emma Chow stop the play? Looks like no.
Looks like no.
On the flip side, there's a small chance Valhalla peaks too soon.
That's true.
I mean, I'm not saying it'll happen, but I'm not saying it'll happen.
And with Snitch coming on pitch in about 10 seconds, it's going to change the game.
There we got an advantage call. The TSC beater is a little livid. That's number 17, Sarah Cotty. She is not happy with that play, and we got a stoppage in play right here. We'll figure out what happened there.
Not sure what's happened at the hoops here. A lot of people on the ground. The quaffle is in the hand of the Valhalla keeper. Unsure if there was a goal called on the play or not, but there's definitely advantage in favor of TSC.
Just outside the length of the camera, our Snitch is warming up. I believe it's a Guelph player. You familiar?
Yes, it is.
Who's our Snitch today?
Chair Bear, number 100, Jeremy Burrows-Balka, Snitch extraordinaire. We'll see, he says.
Looking to last a little longer. There you I got a nice view. Want to wait for the camera, folks at home? Guess not. His mind's on the game and the game alone.
My apologies from earlier. I thought the Snitch went on at 16 minutes. Apparently after 3 years, I still don't know very much about the game. But Snitch does go on at 17, Seekers at 18.
That's why we're here, to admit our own mistakes.
Exactly. No shame.
It's about transparency in Quidditch broadcasting. But yes, that is 17 minutes. We do apologize.
So 1 minute until Snitch on pitch, 2 minutes until Seekers go on, and at that point, that's when the game changes, because that's when we'll see if TSC commits to defensive seeking and try and claw their way back, or if they're going to try and catch it and end the game and save their strength.
Fun fact about the Snitch: while they're encouraged to come on 17, they don't have to be on right at 17. As long as they're on by the 18-minute mark, they're okay. Some Snitches like to play a mind game. Won't come up until like the 17:45 mark. I don't really know what kind of mind game that is.
Yeah,
but it's a special kind of person to be a Snitch, and I would never want to question them publicly on the air.
That's true. I am a Snitch myself.
Oh, excellent! I would never insult a Snitch. Never once in my life have I ever even thought about a Snitch.
I tell you, snitching is a very interesting thing, because you're a referee, but on the other hand, you kind of have license to be a little bit ridiculous.
You can be a little rude, I think.
A little bit, especially in years past with Snitch spectacles.
A little
being
saucy.
more common. Yeah, definitely. I've seen Snitches throw snowballs. I've seen Snitches bring water guns onto the field. A lot of that stuff is a lot less common now as Quidditch has gotten more serious, more competitive.
I'm shocked that as the game gets more serious, we have less spectacles. So it looks like that card on the play is going to be for what happened at the hoops, and Cotty, number 17, is still upset over what happened in the middle of the field. Unfortunately, I don't think Emma Shoma Chow was watching that, so that's on the responsibility of the ARs, and it's so important. I know that as an assistant ref, you can get caught up in the quaffle play, but it's so important for them, for them to be watching that bludger play, because so much of the action happens there. And while it's fun and it's sexy to watch the quaffle play, you really need to watch that bludger play.
Definitely. And it looks like the call, I'm not sure what the offense is, but the call is a blue card. So that's a non-stacking penalty, 1 minute in the box, or until score.
Ooh, sounds like there's upset with referees on both sides.
Still some exchanges of words from Atana Crow, the Valhalla speaking captain, just making sure that his team's concerns are considered, and the same from TSC.
As someone who's a speaking captain for my team and not being a speaking captain this weekend, it's difficult. I want to yap. I'm a yappy captain. I know that about me. It's a fair criticism of me. Yeah. I like to speak my mind, and it's difficult when you're used to that. And just looking out for your players, just say, I need to take a step back. I need to shut the heck up.
As we see Valhalla now coming in, a pass out to Spencer.
That's a good goal, which
storms the hoops. The goal is good, which means TSC is back at full strength. And
but we are stopping play yet again.
Plays being stopped. On the topic of being speaking captain, it is not an easy job. I'll give it that. I have very limited experience with it, but it's goal is ruled not good. I'll make the appropriate changes to the.
That means Sarah Cotty needs to come back. No good. Sarah. No, it's important as speaking captain. You got to know the rule book, which is getting to the point where it's about the size of one of the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a quick overnight read.
No, it's actually the 8th installment, Harry Potter and the General Rules of Quidditch in the U.S. and Canada.
Shockingly, it's the first Harry Potter not to be an international bestseller.
Mm-hmm. As we see now, UBC, TSC, my apologies, coming up. And Quaffle in the hands of Austin Wallace. Austin Wallace pointing, trying to direct his players as he makes a cut left, coming behind the hoops. Oh, it's going to be caught up by the Valhalla chaser.
And the Snitch is on pitch.
Oh, Snitch is on pitch. Very good observation. Quaffle in the hands of the Viking, coming 1 broken tackle, 2 broken tackles, 3 broken tackles. Austin Wallace hitting the ground there as the goal is awarded to Valhalla.
The question right now is, does Valhalla take an 100-point lead before the Seekers come out? I don't think so, but it's possible.
It is possible.
And that's not the way that TSC wanted to play right now. TSC advances, looking to claw their way back in this one. Austin Wallace casually making his way up the pitch, looking at his options, but there's just so much pressure from Valhalla right now, and he's feeling it as he tries to pass, connects there.
Beautiful, beautiful pass over to number 10. Unfortunately, there is a tackle made directly almost as soon as she hits the ground and is no longer a helpless receiver.
Another rim for TSC.
Wow.
They got the one after the rebound, but gosh. And the Seekers are on pitch. Nickel playing a hard defensive game on the Seekers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so with that defensive seeking, we see that TSC is... was it a good goal? Okay, swept 10. That was a good goal for TSC, so score is now 120-40. And as we see with the defensive seeking from Nickel, we see that TSC doesn't think they're out of this game, and they're looking to claw their way back. And honestly, once Seekers go on, the momentum in the game can shift dramatically, and a comeback of this nature is not unheard of.
TSC is a good enough team to believe in themselves that they can claw their way back into this one, and honestly, it'll be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got a big challenge in Valhalla Seekers. That's number 10, Lyndon Evers, who's been such a scoring threat for Valhalla, looking to finish the deal right now.
Oh, a face beat on Austin Wallace. Oh, and a subsequent face beat on number 5. The chaser trying to recover the ball for Valhalla. It's going to be picked up by number 23, the keeper for TSC. Back in the hands of Austin Wallace. As the snitch battle continues, Lyndon Evers giving Jeremy no quarter, no mercy.
And Nickel getting back in after getting beat again, just going straight to defense.
So we see some very offensive point beating from Valhalla, really getting inside Austin Wallace's mind. Yelling for his team to come help him as he's relegated to his hoops. Finally finds an outlet to make a pass, and it's going to bounce out of the hands of the receiver.
That's the advantage that Valhalla has right now. They can take the liberties to just beat who they want to when they want to. They've got, let's see, it's an 80-point lead, so they got a 50-point lead before TSC's even back in snitch range.
Mm-hmm.
They're having their way. We got a stoppage in play. Can't see why.
It's been something that's been quite common actually in this tournament that I've seen so far. Is some very almost bullying from teams in terms of aggressive point chasing, and now the epitome of that being pulling a beater up so far. I believe that was just a goal by TSC.
Was there a goal there? Yeah, I think
it appears like it was. So that's going to be 50. 120-50 in favor of Valhalla.
They're
still,
making
but
their way back.
TSC having a few unanswered goals in the past couple of minutes.
Now the challenge is now for Nickel to still stay there, get in that defensive place, and give his team a chance to keep on getting back into the game. It's got to be exhausting having to hold off Evers there, especially when he has to deal with the aggressive beating of Valhalla. He keeps on getting sent back to hoops. Nickel's got to be tired at this point.
Atonic Crow now directing his players. Oh, unfortunately, not quick enough. Number 22 is quick enough to run back, pick up the ball, and pass it to the keeper on TSC. That's going to be recovered for keeper protection. Valhalla now back at full strength. Devin Dutt retaking the field. So we see TSC, number 23, makes a shot, doesn't quite connect. And it's going to be a turnover in favor of Valhalla.
And TSC able to reclaim BS there. Getting their small victories right now. Nickel looking gassed, but doing a great job holding off the new seeker for Valhalla. That's number 13, Corey Smithson.
You know, they say the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and it looks like TSC may be taking those steps now as we're seeing a few cracks in Valhalla's otherwise stalwart
we got a
defense.
snitch catch, though.
Oh, we got a snitch catch. It might be too late. It's in the hand of number 13, Corey Smithson, a very, very good seeker.
It looks like the initial nodding from our snitch says it was a good catch. We'll see if there's any other plays, but this could be it. This if this is a good catch, this was a blowout.
And that's a 100-point lead if it's good.
And it is.
And that is it. Valhalla wins. Final score 150 to 50. 100-point lead at the end of the game.
This, you know what? This is a good stepping stone for TSC. They know right now where the competition needs to be and how far they're going to have to push themselves if they want to stay in contention for the gold medal.
Yeah.
I know it means a lot to them. They've had a lot of success at regionals, but they haven't been able to capitalize with the gold medal since coming back from USQ. And if this is going to be their year, with so many of their veterans departing, they're going to have to find another gear to shift into.
And you got to think that's got to sting a little bit after narrowly missing the podium to this team, and now being beaten so handedly in what was made out to be a clash of titans ended up being
there were some titans in this one.
It was definitely a clash of two very good teams, but Valhalla just winning decidedly there with a 100-point lead. You got to wonder what that might do for TSC's morale. And I think the name of the game for them is keep their spirits up and let the game go and keep fighting and work starts now.
I think this is it for TSC's pool play. So they get to take a chance, regroup. I think they got a couple hours. I think TSC's going to be able to find another gear and just say, hey, you know what? We won one, we lost one.
Yeah.
Let's regroup and figure out what we did so well that won with the first one.
And you don't get to be a regional champion without having a strong mental game. So we very well could see TSC making a comeback, coming back from this, and pulling their way back up to eventually reach a podium, potentially a gold medal.
At the end of the day, someone had to lose.
It's true.
And that's all for us. Stay tuned for the next game. It's going to be a beautiful game, and I'm only saying that because I'm part of it. We've got Valfreyja, the B team for Valhalla, who you just watched, versus the Calgary Mavericks, who I love dearly.
Thank you all very much for tuning in. My name's Calder Schweitzer.
And I'm Nathan Ross.
And we're signing off. Thank you for tuning in.
Cheers.